Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for spending your valuable time with the Adapt 2030 channel, looking at new internet laws across the EU. Oh wait, there'll be gatekeepers, the largest of the companies. New carbon taxes, carbon border adjustment mechanism, it's live. Just as oil starts to spill out of the desert as a gusher in Saudi Arabia. Chinese residential properties down, prices in Dubai. Seems that some of that money's moving over. And as 2023 begins, you're going to have to change your mind frame, the doors that closed. I'm coming back to buy that building, or you could live in a pod, 24 grand, your choice. And here's me trying to remove myself from the madness of the planet, whatever it takes. Going to start you off here. Most popular browser, internet time. Bottom, April 2022, top 2012. Massive shift, isn't it? It's almost as massive of a shift which will occur with the BRICS countries and new currencies, and those that will head into hyperinflation. Something similar. The reason I bring that up is EU is going to set up new internet laws beginning 2023. Again, it's to allow smaller businesses to compete. And it breaks down to three main points here. Apple users may no longer have to use the App Store to get apps. You could get them off the browser. You could get them off of a different service. And I'm wondering why only WhatsApp may allow sending and receiving messages from rival apps. So that was the thing. You can get messages from different apps across all the, did I say encrypted? Oh yeah, they're going to have to share how all the encryption works between them. And then tech giants would not be allowed to give their preferences only to their own apps and own services. Wonder how that's going to work. Oh, wait. The EU will decide which firms are large enough to act as gatekeepers, and they'll have to comply with the Digital Markets Act. And you can see why the Internet of Things is moving out so quickly. This is the future. Triangulation of substance, whether it be metal or flesh, in real time, all determining your access to buy, sell, and trade in the new system. We saw in yesterday's video limiting combustion engines to downtown centers by 2025, and now EU should mandate electric freight trucks by 2035. Who is pushing this? Oh, the major companies involved in production of said trucks: Siemens, Unilever, Maersk. If our old fossil fuel trucks aren't going to work, you might as well sell them a new product, make them buy it by law. And this is where it gets a lot interesting, because you can see everything dovetailing now in terms of regulation. They don't care about you having more free access to apps. It's just about understanding the communication networks between the encryption. So if they're going to allow cross swaps on the encryption networks, they're obviously going to know and have the ability to de-encrypt that in the messaging services. But we care about you. And you'll see that the movement into the central bank digital currencies and all things trackable and traceable is on the fast track. At the same time, moving over to the electric economy. But I'm just still curious, without enough electricity to even run business or industry in Europe, how are they going to be able to power all these vehicles and charge them up continuously to still continue business that already ceased because they didn't have enough electricity? All based on a new platform that's going to run exclusively on electricity. New oil discovery. Oh, I mean, wait, it just started popping out of the desert and running like a spring in Saudi Arabia. Deutsche Bank, Citi, and Morgan Stanley are all forecasting another 25% plunge in the stock market. The only break in inflation is with a recession. Rich Dad, Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki said, "I believe the economy is in the biggest bubble in history." Kiyosaki bought more gold, predicting $3,000 an ounce in a year. Call the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Patriot Gold Group has the no fee for life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold, and you may qualify for the no fee for life IRA. On qualifying rollovers, give them a call, 888-546-7020. Tell them Adapt 2030 sent you. And now on with the video. But don't worry, the Christmas dinner, bah humbug, oh, that's such a cute title. Let's focus on turkey meat-free roasts. Because somehow the UK having an impending food supply crisis should get you to turn away and stop eating anything protein, eggs, meats, etc. All the trimmings, including the wings, roach wings, that is. Which will put you right on track in a living pod. 24 grand is all it takes and it installs in just a day. Wonder if they have family-sized units. If I could string all those together, 5 or 6 of those. Would I go past my footprint if I did? If I was gluttonous and bought 6 of those connected pathways between decks around it, surrounded in a forest? Or am I a dreamer? And I'm not the only one. China home sales collapsing and shall continue to collapse as we move through this white lung thing. It appears almost all shipping logistics has stopped. So from this point forward, what's in motion to get here from China or is on the shores of your country, that's all that's coming. And when that dries up, especially garden tools into the planting season, well, you're going to be on your own or ask neighbors for help, one of the two. Now, nothing goes to zero. And if we're looking at a shift of finance from Western nations, Western allied, US, Canada, Australia, etc., UK, that money's moving somewhere else. Where is it moving? Gee, let me see. House price index going back up in Dubai. Are they part of the BRICS new currency block? I think they are. Because if we look at remote work, wiped out 453 billion commercial real estate value, 17.5% decrease, and massive reductions in rented space. Look at that bottom paragraph there in bold. 253 million square feet usually rented per year prior to the COVID, and now just 59 million square feet rented. So if we continue the trajectory, we are going to go to 25 or 30% non-rented. Then you ask yourself, how quickly could these areas be converted into human habitation? That's an opportunity for some. But 2023 is going to be about seizing the opportunity and the danger. So reframe 2023 into something like this in the real estate fashion. To all the doors that closed on me, I'm coming back to buy the building. And you can take this as the mantra for 2023. There's going to be so much change happening. Because remember, we got backed up from a fully functioning society into duct tape and baling wire right now. Barely functional, barely held together. And all these other massive changes are inbound for 2023. Now you could look at that and go, oh, the world's falling apart. Well, it is. Well, where's the opportunity in that? I mean, you have some things that you can control directly in your life, but a lot of it's outside the control, and it's going to move in its own spinning fashion in the universe. You do have some mind push into that, but physically around you, what can you control? And that's what you should focus on. And where's the opportunity to help others live better lives during this same insane phase that we're going through? And a lot of people are not handling it well now. They're starting to get the realization. There was a moment there during the summer that people thought it might get better. But it quickly is eroding into, it's going to get worse and be more constricted and diminished than it was through 2022. Now that realization is setting in right now. So a lot of people are going to need, some different ways, things, services in life to help them live better lives. And if you can tap into that, that's a win-win for everybody. And 2023 is going to be your golden opportunity if you got the right lens on it. Speaking of lenses, more regulation, new measure, carbon border adjustment mechanism in the EU. Now, how does this work? It's the first carbon border tax. As we've seen, we were projecting this would come in. So now they're going to balance on what the EU standards are for cement, steel, fertilizer, aluminum, electricity. And if you are not up to EU equivalent, you will have to buy certificates to offset whatever that might be. The cost of manufacturing process emissions. CBAM is what they call it. I call it sham. October 2023. The testing phase, meaning it goes live. At least lumber futures have crashed again, which gives those that are using wood for heating a chance to still heat their homes without breaking the bank on compressed bark and wood chip wood pellets. Lumber futures down. Hey, buy it now. If you're going to build something for next year, that should go right back up again as the heating season levels off. And again, this is going to be many of us. We see the hurdles. We're going to overcome those in any way, shape, fashion, or form that it takes to escape. And I find this interesting here is why our food system is broken. A farmer can spray chemicals to kill insects and weeds and add chemicals to the soil, but don't require any labeling of produced foods. But a farmer who wants to use the USDA organic label has to pay a bunch of money, fill out loads of paperwork, and prove they didn't use chemicals. That's the kind of world we're living in. I think 23 is going to be a bit stranger and happen much faster because everything's at the end of its usefulness now and it's all barely hanging together like I said earlier. So you're going to need to think about storable foods. My Patriot Supply and Adapt 2030. That link's in the description box below. Food with adapt2030.com. And join myself, Ransom Godwin, every Thursday night discussing the same issues 2 hours at a time, streaming live on Rumble and also the Mini Ice Age Conversations podcast YouTube channel. I do thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. And have a great beginning to 2023. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.